Right, so another update video on the Project Skoda. Today's job is wiring, and yeah, this is basically for the front doors, due to the fact the Polo, which the full wiring and engine came from, that had central locking, and this being a Fabia Classic does not. So what I need to do is fit central locking into the front doors. Not going to have it on the rear doors due to the fact it was a two-door Polo that the loom came from. And central locking isn't really that important, but I'm needing to fit it basically to keep the body control module happy, because at the moment, as you can see, there's no interior lights or anything else, and there's various faults coming up. So yeah, what I need to do is basically adapt the door looms for a Fabia to work with a Polo, but of course these have the wrong door looms in them. So we've got 4 looms here that I got from the scrapyard. We've got 2 for a Fabia with central locking and 2 for a Polo with central locking. Can't remember which one's which. I think that's a Polo one. And basically the reason we're having to do this is because if I take this one here, which is for a Polo, this one here, which I know is for a Fabia, they have different sockets on the end, different connections. So this is where it plugs into the car. As you can see, they're completely different. And due to the fact this, as I said, is running a Polo wiring loom, basically if I shove this Fabia loom into the door for the central locking and everything, it won't work because it won't plug in. So what I need to do is, I hope you're still following this, is basically cut these plugs off, work out which one does the central locking. Doesn't matter about electric windows and mirrors and stuff because they aren't getting fitted. Yeah, work out which connections on this does the central locking and speaker, and solder them onto this plug. So basically, yeah, I presume central locking will be in with this one because these are all thinner wires and there's a lot of them. I know for a fact the chunkier wires, like these ones here, those 2 big ones are for the electric window. The one with the grey one with the blue stripe is illumination, so that'll be the switch illumination, and the the black and white one, that'll be the earth, and that is speaker, because the speaker one's always twisted. So yeah, it's similar on here, but as you can see, we've just got one big plug here that has many wires going into it, whereas on this one we've got 3 smaller plugs with quite a few wires. So yeah, don't know why VW and Skoda did that. They could have just kept it the same, but makes my job a bit harder, but I enjoy this sort of thing. So yeah, so basically what I need to do is strip the door down, fit this loom in, which is for the yeah, that's for the one with the central locking and everything. As you can see, yeah, there's the plug. And yeah, then chop this off and solder it onto here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today on both doors, so that'll be fun. Oh yes, I'll also be upgrading the speakers as well, with these ones, which are, fun enough, from the Polo that donated its electrical and engine systems for this. Yeah, these are basically a direct replacement fit into Fabias, and they're a far better speaker. They've got a rubberized surround instead of a foam one, and the voice coil is also stiffer as well, so they are a higher wattage. Did a similar upgrade in my own car, as I've shown on other videos, fit in Mark II speakers, which are pretty much the same as these Mark II Fabia. So I'll just show you that actually, because I've got them sitting over here. I won't go too far into it, because as I say, I've got videos on this, but yeah, these are ones out of a Mark II Fabia. Pretty much exactly the same as the Polo ones. And that's the original Mark I speakers, which these ones are okay, but they do have a habit of this surround rotting out because they're made out of foam, whereas as you can see on these ones it's rubber. I like using these speakers because, as I say, they're a direct fit. You don't need to mess around with adapters and things. I do have some adapters hidden under there which I can't get to, but yeah. It's just, as I say, a nice easy upgrade without any messing around. Okay, apologies about the noise. Got the fans on because it is really hot, like it's about 30 degrees. So yes, that's quite unpleasant in the UK anyway, because we're not used to this sort of heat. But anyway, we've got the ancillary carrier out, as you can see there. That gives us access to the door lock mechanism, which needs replacing because this one isn't central locking compatible. It's just a simple one. 2 wires go into it for the interior light and that's it. So what we need to do is replace it with, is that the correct one? Yeah, that's the correct one. Replace it with this one. Just making sure I had the correct side. So yeah, that'll go in there and replace that mechanism. So yeah, what I also do need to do is change over these pieces, the bits that go onto the door handle, because as I mentioned, they are different. As you can see, that one's got almost like a focus. There we go. That one's got almost like a hammerhead arrangement, and this one's a hook. It's okay because these are the same, like the actual lock mechanism is the same part number between Fabias and Polos, and the connection underneath is the same as well, so that's good. So yes, I'm gonna get that swapped over into there and then start stripping this down, replace the speaker. Turns out I've already done it in the past, and this must have been before I rediscovered riv nuts, because I've just screwed it on. I can vaguely remember changing this like back in 2015. But yeah, replace the speakers with Perlo ones and fit them properly this time, and then replace the wiring as well and get that done, and then get it all back together. And there we go, there's a comparison of the 2 lock assemblers. Got central locking, non-central locking. This one has a large blue plug underneath with 8 connections on it. This one does not, that's just 2 there. So yeah, what I now need to do is basically take this pull handle off, fit it onto this one. Same with the lock piece as well, because as you can see, this is basically the pin that you press down. That is completely different, like it's a different shape, so yeah, get that done now. Okay, so there's a bit of change of plan with the wiring, but it's done. As I mentioned in the rest of the video, I was intending to cut the connector off here and attach it to the Fabia loom, but I ended up just using the entire one out of the Polo, and then just cutting out all the electric windows and yeah, all the stuff that wasn't being used. So it's literally just plug here now for the central locking and speakers. I ended up using this part from the Fabia, which basically means the tweeters will work, because the door looms are different on the Polos. Basically, because on the Polo, the tweeters are mounted up here. So yeah, I just had to wire in this plug, which basically means the door tweeter will still work as it should do. So yeah, I can now get this fitted back in the car. That's the speaker in as well. I end up using Mark II Fabia ones due to the fact the Polo one that I had has got a crack in it somewhere. I can't actually show you that, but yeah, these Mark II ones they're pretty much exactly the same. They sound identical. So got them in my own car, as I say. So yeah, now time to put all this back together.